This is Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance in Sacramento. We are joined by Kristin Olsen. She is the Assembly GOP leader emeritus, still a member, of course, of the California State Assembly, and she's mixing it up. Mixing it up as usual. She and Senator Anthony Cannella, you represent the same area.
We do, yeah, adjacent areas.
Adjacent area, are proposing a bill that focuses on primaries for the presidential election. We have open primaries for all partisan races now, but not presidential.
Yes.
But you have an idea.
I do. I think if you talk to most Californians, we're a top 2 open primary state.
Right.
Most Californians would assume that when they go to the polls in June, they could vote for any presidential candidate that they want to. The fact is that's not the case. No. And so we're carrying a resolution that would allow all voters, including those who have registered as NPPs, no party preference, or declined to states, as they're affectionately called, the opportunity to cast a ballot for any of the nominees. And the goal is really just to increase civic participation in the process and give voters more options.
So even if I'm a registered Republican, on that day, I can request a ballot and choose to vote for a Democrat under your system. But your system has a little twist to it because, as we know, at least here in California, there is a right of political parties to have closed primaries.
That's right.
To only allow, other states may have different rules, but here in California, we have closed primaries. Only Democrats can vote in Democratic primaries, Republicans in Republican primaries. So what's your fix?
Which is true only in the presidential race, as you know. But we do have, our Constitution protects the right of political parties to decide whether they want to only count the ballots of their members of their party or others. Currently, all the parties in California will, if you're a declined to state, you could go to the polls and say, I want a Democrat ballot, or I want a Green Party ballot, what have you. You cannot request a Republican ballot because of party rules.
So Democrats allow, do they allow Republicans? I'm not sure.
That's a good question. I'm not exactly sure how that works.
But we know the Republicans will not allow non-registered Republicans to vote.
And the fact is, the decline to states in California are growing in percentage year after year after year.
Well, we
better start reaching out to them.
Yeah, your point's well taken. As you know, the stats just came out.
Yes, and they're growing again. So our resolution simply asks the Secretary of State provide a nonpartisan ballot that lists every Republican, Democrat, and other presidential candidate that somebody can go request on Election Day.
But then what gets counted?
Great question. The resolution also calls on the Secretary of State to count all the ballots, to provide public tallies, but then per our Constitution, it would be up to the political parties, up to the Republican Party, up to the Democrat Party, as to which ballots they want to count. They have to count the ballots of Republicans for the CRP and Democrats for the Democrat Party, but it would be up to them whether they want to count ballots that are not registered with their political affiliation.
This is fascinating.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a step in the right direction.
But what does your party say? You're a Republican. I mean,
it's been mixed. It's been mixed there. I will admit I've gotten emails of concern saying we only want to count ballots cast by Republicans. Only Republicans should be able to choose our nominee. And while in some respects I understand that, the fact is we're hurting ourselves if we don't give a growing number of voters the opportunity to cast a vote for a Republican if that's what they want to do. It's just nonsense.
What do your Democratic friends say? Have they said anything to you?
The Democrats haven't weighed in yet, which is interesting. Now, perhaps that's because they've wised up to the fact that they too need to reach out to declined to states. Declined to states in California lean center-right.
Oh, is that true? Is that what polling says?
That's what polling and data shows. So we need to be able to reach out to them and give them the opportunity to cast a vote for a Republican president.
What is your sense? You know, I recently covered the California Democratic Party convention. We'll be coming to yours, don't worry, in Burlingame.
In Cleveland?
The local, the state convention.
Burlingame.
And it was just when the numbers came out on political registration, party registration, and Democratic numbers pretty stable, although with population growth they're down.
A little bit. Yeah, they're dropping
Republican numbers are down a nice amount, but declined to state soaring.
That's right.
What's going on?
It's a concern. I think it's a few things. I think one, a growing number of voters, particularly in the millennial generation, don't like labels. They want choices. They don't like labels. They don't like being put into a box. And then I think it also shows within both parties, since both are dropping, that there's greater disenfranchisement within the parties. And we have to really dig deep and figure out what is the future of the Republican Party in California, and what can we do to be making common sense decisions that are in favor of regular people. They want to know that we're people just like them with daily struggles who want to be able to thrive in this state, not just survive.
So let's talk about what the voters are also telling us. You know, we're in the midst of this presidential campaign. Look, events are moving quickly. Who knows when this airs what will have happened.
Right.
But what we do know, it is undeniable that primary voters in the Republican Party are hopping mad.
Yes, and in the Democrat Party.
And I was going to get there. I mean, don't get me wrong, and the Democrats as well. But interestingly, look, anything could happen. But Bernie Sanders, an insurgent campaign, but it appears that Hillary will probably
that
survive.
Is the likely outcome
right.
at this point.
Whereas on the Republican side, I mean, Marco Rubio, Jeb Bush, John Kasich, I mean, these are solid candidates, and they're getting walloped by Donald Trump, a reality TV star.
It's truly shocking.
Right.
I mean, it's entertainment. And at some point, it's embarrassing as an American what our presidential race has devolved to. And it is in both parties. And I think what we're seeing is an unprecedented level of frustration and anger among the voting populace, Republicans and Democrats alike, who are so tired of a lack of authenticity, of political rhetoric, of the PC movement that is so far removed from their everyday lives and the things that they care about.
But let's talk
good
about,
schools, good jobs.
But let's talk about the Reaps, just because you are one. And
absolutely.
I just, you know, for so many years, the Republican Party, they've been very strong on certain principles, social conservatism, economic moderation to conservatism. Donald Trump, I mean, I'm not really sure where he is on a lot of these issues, but I would not call him, it appears, a social conservative. Yet we see evangelicals voting for him in huge numbers. I'm fascinated to see what happens in June in our primary.
So am I. And win or lose, it's going to make a fascinating case study to determine what is going on in voters' minds.
Well,
because groups that would not ordinarily be supporters of the principles he's professing are voting for him.
So let me ask you, for example, about Modesto, Turlock, Ripon, where you represent, Central Valley, like the heart of California, you know, salt of the earth. What are you hearing? Are your, I'm talking about Republicans now. What are they telling you?
You know, it is a little bit all over the map. Everybody has their favorite candidate. And what we really need is a unifier who can bring Republicans back together on shared principles and lead. And so far, we're not seeing that in the Republican presidential race. Although California polling still shows, even among California Republicans, Donald Trump is not polling well.
He is not. That is true.
But unfortunately, the race is likely and usually decided before it gets to California.
But do you sense as much anger as we appear to see in other parts of the country in the California Republican base?
I do.
Oh,
I
really?
sense a lot of frustration. Differences maybe a little bit, but especially in the Central Valley where we're much more similar to other parts of the country than say the coastal areas.
I understand.
There's a lot of frustration that current government leaders aren't representing them and their everyday concerns.
But here's what's, you know, look, I'm a journalist, I cover Sacramento. What's frustrating to me about that is you all, Democrats and Republicans, just got together and really fought hard to get this MCO tax passed. I mean, look, you know, it's inside baseball.
Very complex.
But look, bipartisanship broke out and you made it work.
That's right.
You know, and so I feel like Sacramento, look, it's functioning.
That's right.
So why aren't you getting credit for it?
I know, and I think it's because it's a journey. You know, it takes time to prove to the voters that they can have confidence in the system again. But there are several of us, Republicans and Democrats alike in the California legislature, that really are trying to show a new brand of leadership. One where we can really negotiate on key issues that don't have to be black and white.
Right, of course.
But where there is common ground and we can move the needle forward in a way that will deliver more economic vibrancy and opportunity.
Okay, her name is Kristin Olsen. She is the GOP leader emeritus of the California State Assembly. My name is Brad Pomerance in Sacramento. Stay tuned. This is Local Edition.